Hey, Raiders fans. Today, we need to talk about some significant changes happening in the silver and black roster, because the moves the team has made recently could have a bigger impact than many might think at first glance. The first and most talked about signing is linebacker Jon Rhattigan. Now, with Jermaine Pratt no longer part of the team, the Raiders faced a real gap in their linebacker core. Pratt was someone this team relied on consistently, a player who anchored the defense and provided stability in crucial situations. Losing him was a big blow, and naturally, the question on everyone's mind is, how does the team plan to fill that void? Enter Rhattigan. He might not be a direct one-on-one replacement for Pratt in terms of raw defensive ability, but what he does bring is a unique set of skills that align with certain needs the Raiders currently have, particularly on special teams. Rhattigan's journey to this point is interesting because he isn't the typical headline-grabbing free agent that gets drafted out of college and immediately makes waves. He spent 4 years at Army, where his development was steady rather than spectacular, and he eventually became a starter in his senior season. That background gave him a solid foundation in the fundamentals of football, discipline, and situational awareness, which are crucial for a team that has struggled in various areas this season. After Army, he had stints with the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers, primarily contributing on special teams. While he wasn't a star on defense, his experience in high-intensity game situations and understanding of team structures is something that cannot be overlooked. This is exactly why the Raiders were willing to bring him on board now. It might not be a flashy move, and it certainly doesn't scream immediate impact in the defensive stats, but sometimes the unglamorous, behind-the-scenes improvements can make a massive difference over the course of a season. One of the key reasons Rhattigan's signing makes sense is tied directly to the Raiders' struggles on special teams this year. There's no sugarcoating it. The unit has been historically poor. Missed tackles, bad field positioning, blocked punts, and inefficient returns have plagued the team. The Raiders currently sit at the bottom in metrics like EPA and DVOA for special teams, which essentially measures how well a team adds or loses points compared to average situations. Being dead last in both categories is alarming, and it's something that has directly impacted the team's ability to compete week after week. Rhattigan brings over 1,000 snaps in special teams experience, along with tangible results like 38 tackles and a forced fumble. These numbers show he's not just filling a roster spot. He can actively contribute to fixing one of the Raiders' most glaring weaknesses. It's also worth considering the broader strategy behind this move. The Raiders are currently in a rebuilding phase. With a 1-4 record, they are not positioned to contend for major wins this season, which means experimenting with roster configurations and providing opportunities for younger players is not only sensible but necessary. Bringing Rhattigan in allows the team to give more reps to players like Jamal Adams, Tommy Eichenberg, and Cody Lindenberg. Adams, in particular, could see an expanded role in the linebacker rotation, while Eichenberg and Lindenberg get crucial live-game experience that will benefit the team in the long term. In essence, Rhattigan is filling a dual purpose, shoring up a struggling special teams unit while also indirectly supporting the development of younger defensive talent. The Raiders' approach here also reflects a particular philosophy that has been consistent in recent years, prioritizing culture and work ethic alongside raw talent. Rhattigan is a player who has experience in disciplined environments, someone who understands the importance of fundamentals and reliability. While he might not replace Pratt's on-field production immediately, his presence could help stabilize the unit and bring a level of professionalism that trickles down to other players. For a team dealing with inconsistencies, that intangible effect can be just as valuable as tackles and sacks. Alongside Rhattigan, the Raiders made another strategic addition, punter Brad Robbins to the practice squad. A.J. Cole, the team's primary punter, has been dealing with a minor injury, which forced him to leave the game against the Colts earlier this season. Robbins, a Michigan alum, has experience in the NFL with the Bengals and the Bills. And while he isn't an immediate star, his presence ensures the Raiders have depth and competition at a position that often gets overlooked but is critical for field position. The team also worked out Ryan Stonehouse and long snapper Luke Elian, showing they're actively evaluating options to strengthen the special teams unit. This depth allows the Raiders to maintain stability even when injuries occur and ensures that the punter and long snapper positions are fully supported, which is crucial for flipping field position and providing the offense with better starting points. Special teams performance has been a consistent pain point for the Raiders, affecting games in ways that go beyond basic stats. Missed tackles, blocked kicks, and poor kickoff and punt coverage have directly led to losses and limited the offense's ability to perform. Bringing in players like Radigan and Robbins is part of a methodical approach to address these issues. Radigan's focus on special teams tackles, discipline, and situational awareness could gradually improve coverage, while Robbins provides a safety net for punting duties while Cole recovers. Improving these fundamental aspects could indirectly lead to more success for the offense, simply by ensuring better starting field positions and reducing the number of critical mistakes that shift momentum to the opposition. Looking at the bigger picture, these moves suggest that the Raiders are acknowledging the need to balance immediate results with long-term development. While they are unlikely to compete for a championship this season, the team is using this period to evaluate younger talent, correct glaring weaknesses, and establish a culture that prioritizes preparation, discipline, and reliability. Radigan fits perfectly into this mold. He's not the star player who will make highlight reels immediately, but he's a steady, experienced presence who can help teach younger players, stabilize weak areas, and gradually build the foundation the Raiders need for future success. This approach is consistent with what we've seen from the team recently, a willingness to make calculated, sometimes unexciting moves that address fundamental needs rather than chasing flashy short-term solutions. It's a sign of a team trying to be smart about resource allocation and player development, recognizing that improvement comes not only from big plays, but also from consistent, incremental changes in personnel, preparation, and execution. Now, diving deeper into the implications of these moves, it's clear that the Raiders are looking at more than just filling roster spots. Radigan's signing signals a focus on improving situational football, something the Raiders have struggled with all season. Special teams may not grab headlines like offensive touchdowns or defensive interceptions, but is the foundation that determines field position, momentum, and ultimately the outcome of games. With the Raiders currently allowing opponents to start drives around the 37th yard line on average, it's painfully obvious how much this has handicapped the team. Conversely, the offense is beginning drives around the 26-yard line, one of the worst starting positions in the league. This kind of imbalance makes scoring consistently an uphill battle, and it puts immense pressure on both the offense and the defense to compensate for mistakes they didn't make. Radigan's experience in over 1,000 special team snaps, his ability to tackle efficiently, and his knack for staying disciplined in high-pressure situations could slowly start to change these numbers, improving coverage, reducing yardage given up on returns, and helping to flip the field back in the Raiders' favor. In addition to Radigan, the presence of Brad Robbins on the practice squad adds a layer of insurance and competition that is crucial for any team hoping to stabilize their kicking game. A.J. Cole has been the punter for years, and while he's been highly reliable in past seasons, this year has seen a noticeable drop in performance. Bringing in Robbins ensures that if Cole cannot play or isn't performing at peak efficiency, the team isn't forced to scramble. It also allows the coaching staff to experiment with different punting strategies in practice, test coverage schemes, and give younger or fringe players exposure to live game situations. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes depth that might not make fans excited at first glance, but over the course of a long season, it's exactly the type of planning that prevents disastrous scenarios from occurring during critical moments. This season, the Raiders have been in a unique position where the offense hasn't consistently produced, the defense has gaps due to player transitions, and special teams have been historically weak. That combination has led to a situation where incremental improvements, like those Radigan and Robbins can bring, become magnified in importance. Jamal Adams, for example, stands to benefit significantly from Radigan's presence. With Pratt gone, Adams will be asked to take on more responsibilities, both in pass coverage and run defense. Radigan's ability to absorb some of the fundamental work on special teams means that Adams can focus on honing his skills at linebacker without being overextended. Similarly, Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg, younger linebackers with limited in-game experience, could see more repetitions, allowing them to develop at a faster pace than they would under normal circumstances. This is exactly the type of strategic planning that can help a team in rebuilding mode maximize the development of its roster, even in a season that is not focused on winning immediately. Another interesting aspect of these moves is how they reflect the Raiders' focus on culture and familiarity. Radigan has connections with coaching styles that value discipline and preparation, and Robbins, coming from Michigan, shares ties with other members of the coaching staff who understand the value of structured systems and reliable execution. These cultural fits are often overlooked in mainstream discussions about roster moves, but they play a critical role in a team's ability to execute plays consistently. When players understand expectations, systems, and how to react in various situations, they are less prone to mental errors, missed assignments, and breakdowns in coverage. Radigan, with his Army background, embodies this kind of disciplined, fundamentals-first approach, which is exactly what the Raiders need right now. Special teams failures have been a recurring theme this season, from blocked punts to missed tackles to returns that have directly led to points for opponents. The Raiders' struggles here have not only affected the scoreboard, but have also placed additional pressure on the offense and defense. By bringing in experienced players to shore up these areas, the Raiders are addressing a problem that often gets overlooked until it becomes catastrophic. Radigan and Robbins may not make a splash on highlight reels, but they represent an investment in minimizing mistakes, improving coverage, and stabilizing the flow of games, all of which can lead to more consistent performances from the rest of the team. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL landscape, the Las Vegas Raiders are reportedly making waves with what could be the most surprising acquisition of the offseason. Sources close to the team suggest that the Raiders have set their sights on none other than Canadian running back CHUBA Hubbard from the Carolina Panthers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the rumor has ignited a frenzy among fans and pundits alike. Hubbard, who has been quietly carving out a solid career with the Panthers, has drawn attention for his agility, vision, and ability to break tackles in the backfield. Despite being somewhat under the radar compared to bigger names, his performances this season have been consistent, often turning modest offensive plays into highlight reel moments. If the whispers are true, Las Vegas could be eyeing him as a key piece to bolster their rushing attack, perhaps signaling a shift in strategy under their current coaching regime. The buzz around Hubbard isn't just about his on-field skills. Being a Canadian talent in the NFL, his potential move to the Raiders would also carry symbolic weight, highlighting the growing international reach of the league. Social media is already lighting up with speculation, mock reactions, and memes imagining Hubbard in the iconic silver and black. Analysts are debating how his skill set would fit alongside the Raiders' current roster, particularly in tandem with their receiving core and quarterback, creating endless what-if scenarios. While the Panthers have shown little indication that they are ready to part ways with Hubbard, insiders suggest that the Raiders' front office is leaving no stone unturned. Could this be a bold gamble to shake up the NFC South alum's career and give Las Vegas a new identity in the backfield? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The mere suggestion of CHUBA Hubbard donning a Raiders uniform has already become the talk of the league. For now, fans will have to ride the wave of anticipation, imagining a future where a Canadian star becomes the next unexpected face of Las Vegas football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.